Hey guys, and may the 4th be with you. And also, welcome back to Brexit. Brexit England, Northern Ireland, and Eastern Europe. And in Brexit England, we have pensioners riding around on buses in an attempt to keep themselves warm because they can't stay home and use the electric or the gas in their houses. We are a conservative country, which is a rich country because conservatives are rich. Yeah, right. No, we are in a country where we have old people, old APs riding around on buses, right, and eating one main meal a day. That's the country we're living in. We're living in food bank poverty for the working classes. England, where the people are treated like absolute shit. Right? Just look, you keep on voting for these people, and these people keep on punishing you every single time. You do realize they despise the fact that they have to pay for the NHS. They have to pay taxes towards it. They despise that fact. But you still look at them and think, ooh, these are the people that we should vote for. Even though they've sold off all of your utilities. Sold them all off. So that the people of the country can't get no money from the utilities. It all goes to private companies. Do you realise, right, that people like BP and Shell and all these companies, they're making so much money. But when it comes down to the decommissioning of their oil rigs and things like that, who do you think pays for that? Their profits are ring-fenced for the private companies. The government is allowing them to do this. And you keep voting for these people. Why? Is it because they say nice things to you about immigration? We're going to send blacks to Rwanda and brown people to Rwanda. Is that what it is? Seriously? Get some motherfucking humanity up in your stupid lives, right? Because you've allowed them to fuck this country up around you. And also, welcome back to By Any Means Necessary. Thank you so much for all your messages sent me. And a special thanks to everybody who signed up to my channel. I feel so blessed with so much people that have signed up. So thank you so much for that. I'll go through all the messages. I'll answer as many as I can. But I will like all the messages for definite. And we say congratulations to the people of Merseyside. Not both sides. The Everton sides, but they're pissed because they're somewhere down there. And Liverpool, right, are looking like they're on set. Well, they're in three finals. So the FA Cup, the League Cup, and I believe the Champions League final now too. So the Liverpool looking like they want to do the triple, right, of these cups, right? But it's been a long time. They've had a long wait. I can't remember the last time Liverpool won anything. And all of a sudden, all the Liverpool fans are rearing their stupid heads up again, right? Because you know something, yeah, there's a whole heap of them living in London. And I was always like, what kind of bullshit is that? Right, you're supporting Liverpool. You live in London and you're supporting Liverpool. Right? But yeah, so much of them, do you know what I mean? And now all of a sudden, see what I mean? They've got stuff to talk about. Yeah, Liverpool's the best thing since sliced bread. Well, I just have to say to them, who is the world club champions? And we leave it right there. Elephants must no longer be held, right, in zoos and in places like safari parks and those places there, right? And they say damn right too. And that's according to Born Free, and they would know because they will know all about all about elephants, because I'm sure that's one of the animals that they specialize in, right? So these elephants should really be running wild in their own habitat, right? But already how we just like to take up so much land and all those things there. So obviously we've probably taken up so much of the elephants' land that we have to keep them in zoos and but there shouldn't really be elephants in Britain, in America, in Australia. I don't think there's any Australia. There's the Indian elephant and the African elephant, isn't it? So You know, I don't. Where else they have the other elephants? I suppose places like maybe it's places like Sri Lanka and places like that. But you know, it shouldn't be none of those animals should be anywhere in any of these type of countries. You know, gorillas, lions, you know, cheetahs, tigers, because none of them are indigenous to any of these countries. So they should, you know, if there was in, you know, those animals should still be right where they belong. You know, there's one thing there you can say about the Chinese, right? Because every single panda in the world belongs to the Chinese, right? Now they will lend you a panda, right? Or you know they might lend you a couple a mating pair of pandas, right? But even if that panda has a cub, what are bears called? What are the little bears called? Whatever the little bear's called, right? Even if they have one, right, that still belongs to China, right? They're very strict over it, and you know, I think that Africa should just be the same and say, listen, you know what, yeah, if you've got an African lion in your country, right, you need to send it back to us. You need to give us all, you know, because all of these majestic animals, right, should be kept, right, in their own habitats. Do you know what I mean? And you know, the people who go and you know, on stuff. I'm going off topic here, but people who go on, you know, to go and kill these animals, right? You know, they make me absolutely sick. I hate them I could actually strangle them myself. Right, people who go and shoot all these beautiful animals. Right, I hate you. Right, I would like to step on your face. Right, and then have a lion rip both your arms off and your foots too. Oh, there's been a major. It looks like there's going to be a major change here to abortion rules in the USA, which will have worldwide effects. Right, and you know, I've always said, you know something, right? Abortion, right, is between the couple. Other than that, men need to keep the fuck out of it. Keep the hell out. When you can have a child, right, then we can start talking about it. Because you know, I guarantee you, right, if men was the one who had children, well, that means that men would be women. But you know what I mean, right? If men could have children. Right. Trust me, you'd be able to get an abortion up till 9 months. Okay, men need to keep the fuck out of women's business. Do you know what I mean? Just keep the hell out of it. We've already got a time limit, right? As to a date, right, after a woman can't have an abortion, right? That should be enough for everybody, but it's not enough, right? For these misogynistic men who think to themselves they've got the damn right to tell women what they can do the fuck with their body. I have this argument with people a lot, you know, and I always say to them, you know what, the best thing men can do is keep the fuck out of it. Right? If you want to have a discussion with your wife about or your partner about an abortion, then that's your discussion. Right? Your discussion, right, is not to start talking about it. Your discussion is not start dealing with talking about it to other men, right? Like you've got an influence on what other women are doing, because you have no influence on what other women are doing. You've only got influence on on maybe your missus, right? To say, well, babe, you know, we should have an abortion or we shouldn't. That's as far as that goes for you. But we shouldn't have men all over the TV talking about this, men voting on it in the Supreme Court and them things there. Fuck off, right? Leave the motherfucking women alone. Right, it's really annoying. I find it really annoying, right, that this for me is a woman's issue. It's not a man's issue. Men don't have babies. It's a woman's issue. She's got to put herself through through the childbirth, right? We cannot tell her what to do. A man would never, right, allow, right, females to tell them what they can and can't do with their bodies. Men would never ever put up with that. Never. Would be like, fuck off. Right? And that's exactly what the women should be saying. You know something? Keep the fuck out of our business. Keep out of it. Right? That's it. You keep the fuck out of it. Right? And this is going to have some, it's going to be like a worldwide thing. I mean, massive thing, worldwide thing. Do you know what I mean? The implications of this, But this is like, the Supreme Court in America, I think it's heavily to the right. So you expect in this type of far right world, well, the West. But a lot of people, a lot of countries have rejected the far right. You look at France, right? You know, you look at even America. Rejected Donald Trump, right? So they rejected the far right madness, all that craziness, And the far right is losing so many votes all over the world because of their fucking craziness. Because these people are some crazy motherfucking fools, right? Talking about fucking Jewish space lasers and Satan taking over the church, all this type of nonsense. I mean, people are like, and if you don't agree with them, then you're a paedophile, right? And you hate your country, right? You think to yourself, what kind of fucking politics are these people really trying to pull off here? What kind of politics is this? Don't know. So that's so the USA over that abortion thing, they're gonna have some real problems over there. I can foresee. And a 77-year-old woman named Elsie, who rides around on a bus all day, right, and eats one meal a day, has been brought to our attention by Susanna Reid in her interview with Boris Johnson yesterday, where Boris Johnson made a complete idiot of himself because the answer to Elsie was, oh well, it was me that implemented the 24-hour freedom pass. First of all, no, you didn't. And secondly, I don't think that's helpful. Because you see, if you saw the Prime Minister's interview yesterday, right, you'd understand that he has no answers to any of this. Because how can you expect, right, someone, right, who's described £275,000 a year as chicken feed before? How can you think that person can understand Elsie? Because he just probably thinks to himself, well, she's probably got a little trust fund somewhere, she's living off. No, she goes to the supermarkets and she looks for stuff that has got a yellow label on it, right? So the price is reduced. And that's what she's eating. She's eating one meal a day. Right? She can't stay in her house because her house. She's staying in her house. It's going to burn too much energy. So the only thing she can do is put on extra clothing and go and sit down on a bus and ride on the buses. Because that is Great Britain. But when you've got a man who has burnt a £50 note in front of a homeless person. I said to you, when's the last time you've done that? When's the last time that you've burnt a £50 note in front of a homeless person? But that's the person you voted in. You looked at Jeremy Corbyn and said, no. And you voted in the person who would take a £50 note and burn it in front of a homeless person. That's who you voted in. Because that's who the people of this country really are. Callous. Right? Callous. That's a callous and an evil thing to do to anybody. Right? And you say, well, I'd say, when's the last time? And you know something, right? Guarantee you, right, that 99.9% of people in the world would have never done that. Would have never ever, right? And not because they're not callous, because most of them but people who vote for Boris Johnson are callous, racist arses, right? But it's not because of that. It's because most people don't have £50 to waste. Who's got 50 quid to waste? Do you know what I mean? Right, hold on. What's 50? A bullseye? Yeah. Who got a bullseye to waste? You're going to waste a bullseye. 50. I'll give my little 50. No. You want that to burn? Seriously? So you've got to be a callous arse to really do something like that. But that's who you voted for. You voted for someone who's done stuff like that before. To a homeless person. And now and you wonder why you're in a cost of living crisis, because you vote for people who don't care about you. You vote for people who constantly abuse you, and you vote for them. That's why we've got 77-year-old old ladies riding around on buses, not having enough food to eat. In Great Britain, 5th largest economy. Now, do you think this would happen under Jeremy Corbyn? I can wait for your answer if you want. right? And that's the level of stupidity that you people have shown. You've allowed yourself, right? I don't, listen. I know, right, that your vote for the Tories, right, is because you don't like people who look like me. But that's just stupid. Because I don't care what you think. Yeah. Yeah. I don't care what you think. Seriously. Right. The ridiculous nature, right, of you people voting for the Tories, right, when you haven't got any money. And they have. You've got all these people, all these influential people on the TV, sitting in their lovely houses, right? None of them, all those people who are talking about the cost of living crisis, right? None of them is going through it with you. I'm going through it with you. I'm going through it with you. I'm on the telly. Right? All those people, right, who are influencing you on the telly and oh, shocking, poor Elsie. Oh, it's terrible. Poor Elsie is riding around on buses. It's shocking. Oh, yeah, but like they give a fuck. Don't give a fuck. Right? Boris Johnson, right, and Rishi Sunak, right, cannot understand your life. They can't understand what Elsie needs. They don't know that they don't know what she needs. And if you're looking over to Starmer, then you might as well just look right back to the Tories, because they've got no ideas either. What they're talking about, the things what they're talking about, right? What Labour's talking about. Yeah, they need all those things, all to take off the taxes off this and windfall tax off of that, and this and that, and take these taxes off and do. Yeah, they need all that, right? That's not going to be enough. These people are talking about, oh, well, we can take, there's some saving of £600 that Labour's talking about. Say, well, these people, right? They take the people of this country for absolute idiots, right? Because £600 doesn't go anywhere. What the hell do you think £600 goes? Right? But they're talking about £600, yeah, as if to say they're giving you 10,000. Like, remember, right, at the beginning of the pandemic, when they needed, when they said, oh, you've got to work from home, right, if you can. And they awarded themselves £10,000 each, right, for offices, for offices in their houses. Right, now, do you think, right, that they already had offices in their houses? I mean, how many MPs do you think have not got an office in their house? I'll wait for your answer. Because that's going to be one big fat zero. Every single MP already had an office in their house. Right? They already had everything that could be set up for them to work from home. They do it all the time. So they've got everything there for them to work from home. But they awarded themselves £10,000. See? That just goes to show you. Right? For them, what crisis? There's no crisis for them. There's no crisis for them at all. Right? And for rich Tories, no crisis for them. There's a crisis, yeah, for your food bank Tories and your working class Tories. Your red wall Tories. Are you with me, going through the crisis with me, or are you with Rishi Sunak and Boris Johnson? Are you not going through the crisis with them? Where do you think you are in the great scheme of things now? And I'll bring you back again. Do you think Jeremy Corbyn would have allowed this to happen to you? That's why, this is the reason, yeah, why I laugh at you people. Because you're stupid. Very, very stupid people. It's just, it's ridiculous, what you've done what you've allowed them to do to this country. It's ridiculous. They've sold off all of your utilities, and you've stood by and watched them do it. You've stood by and watched them privatise OAPs. You've stood by and watched them privatise hospital car parks. Sell off privatise the CO2, the trains, the buses, everything. All money, right, going to private companies, to private hands. when that money should be going into our economy, not into private hands. But you concern yourself with, a couple of dinghies over there. We've got to put an end to that. Mentality is crazy. Stupid. Why can't we have a windfall tax on the energy companies? Because Boris Johnson said they'll stop investing in the UK if we do that. They will not invest if we have a windfall tax on the oil companies and the fuel giants. A windfall tax, because these people are making so much money. But the head of BP has come out and said, nope, if you impose a windfall tax on us, we're still going to invest the same £18 billion in this country that we was going to anyway. See? So you see, Boris Johnson there is just another lie he's just caught out in immediately, because after the interview yesterday with Susanna Reid, the head of BP just come out and said, no, none of that's true. We'll still invest the money in this country. But firstly, England PLC, right, should be running its own oil company. Okay, that's how it should be. It shouldn't be left down to private companies. When you leave it down to private companies, that means that your country is being run by private entities. And that's who's running this. That's who's running this country. It's all private companies who's actually running this country. The government's not running this country. It's all private entities, right? And they've sold off everything that we once owned, and they've given it all to private companies. But the thing is, when the decommissioning comes down for all this infrastructure that we have paid for, and then they've sold to these companies, basically gifted it to them. We are the people who have to pick up the cost. Anytime any of the infrastructures need taking down or need decommissioning, it's down to us, all those things, right? But their profits are always ring-fenced nicely for the private companies, But this is the country that you people want to live in. You want to live in a country where your Prime Minister can just say to you blatantly, oh no, we cannot have a windfall tax on the energy companies who are making more money than Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk put together. Right? We cannot have a windfall tax on them people, because they won't invest. And in real time, the head of BP has just come out and said, that's not true. Fact checked him straight away. Starmer can't get away from Beergate. He can't get away from it, right? And now what's happened is they've come out about something about Angela Rayner was there too, and that wasn't out in the first place. So now the Labour Party have been caught out lying. So now the Tories, the Tories have got this thing where what they do is they're just like, what? Everybody's the same. We're all the same. Don't if you vote for us, you vote for them. It's all the same. We're all as corrupt as each other. That's the Tory strategy, especially Boris Johnson. That's his strategy on this one. Do you know what I mean? So Starmer's managed to box himself into a corner by failing to admit that Angela Rayner was there in the first place. Now they've got something to talk about, right? And they say, oh no, look at this, all the same. And the Daily Mail have been banging this away for the last 7 days now, right? But you say the thing is, Starmer should just be like, well, was there something called Wine Time Friday? And did you see me with tinsel and all those things there around my head? Right? It was, this was, right? Because, they was out campaigning. Right? Listen, you know what? I'm not even going to stand up for them. No. Right? More Irish passports than UK passports have been issued in post-Brexit Britain. Because no one wants to be British anymore. Everyone knows that I've got an Irish passport. I'm just looking for a way that I can just say, you know what? Yeah, my my grandfather's brother's older sister was from County Donegal, and so if I could, but no, right? That's not open up to me, right? But no, seriously. Right, people don't want people just don't want their English passport. Right, if they can get the Irish passport, everyone who lives in England, right, that can get an Irish passport has got one. I guarantee you, right, even some of them stinking Brexiters, right, who have connections to Ireland have managed to get themselves an Irish passport. I guarantee you, right? Guarantee you that, right? So that they can just travel around nice and freely, right, around the EU, while me, I have to be stuck, right, on this racist island, right? And that's the only place where my goddamn passport works. People are embarrassed to be British after Brexit, says the Guardian. And someone needs to go up to the Guardian, yeah, and snap the editor's little finger, right? Because he's talking about people that read the Guardian, not people that read the Express, the Mail, the Telegraph, the Sun. Right? Those are the people. When you find those people who say, "I'm embarrassed to be English," right? Because it's not embarrassed to be British. It should be embarrassed to be English, because we're the people who brought this shit on, right? So you're embarrassed to be English because you know the other nations around us didn't want this shit, right? Because they could foresee, right, what kind of foolishness you would put yourself in. Right? Johnson's plan is to mount a crucial Northern Ireland vote. What the hell? I need some glasses. I should really wear glasses, you know. Johnson's Brexit plane mount with crucial Northern Ireland vote. See, glasses, right? So tomorrow we've got obviously we've got the local elections, right? Where the Tories are going to take a bloody good kicking. They're going to take a real shellacking tomorrow, right? But right. And that's gonna shake them up. It's gonna shake them up a good bit, right? To realise how badly they will do in a general election. Because tomorrow they're gonna lose a lot of council seats tomorrow, right? You know, and it's not because it's nothing to do with Labour have got better. Because that's nothing to do with it, right? What it's to do with is how fucked up Boris Johnson is. That it's all to do with that. How Boris Johnson has completely ruined the country, done more than 100 years worth of damage to this country. Right. So tomorrow's vote in Northern Ireland is very, very crucial because it looks like Sinn Féin is going to wipe the board because the DUP are some crazy motherfuckers. There's some crazy fools, the DUP, right? And you know people are rejecting like the far right. That's what's happening all over the world. People are saying, you know, because if you look at the state that Trump left America in, and look at the reputation that America had under Trump, you know, and you know if you look under Biden now, the world is it's not a stable place, right? But the world makes sense, right? Rather than having these politicians who are just like completely off the wall, right? So Ireland tomorrow, right? We're going to see what happens in Ireland tomorrow, but it looks like Sinn Féin, right? Because Sinn Féin have just been sitting back and they haven't really been doing anything. They've just been sitting back and just like watching the DUP implode, just shoot themselves in the forehead. Right, so it's some craziness gone up there. But look at the time, man. I'm just well over my time again. What's that? I don't know. I can't even see that. Right, but I'm so far off my time again, and I shouldn't be. I shouldn't be so of a goddamn chatterbox. Anyway, guys, this is By Any Means Necessary. I'm the MC John Ribbs. It was really nice to speak to you guys. Comments below.